Hi, guys. It's Barry Newman with EXP, and I'm going to be talking about a very important subject, which are the pros and cons of living in the Chicago suburbs or living in Chicago. Now, one of the things I've done in the past, I've talked mostly about North suburbs, North Shore suburbs, but there's more suburbs than that in Chicago. Now, what there isn't anything east of Chicago because it's Lake Michigan, but there are north suburbs, there are west suburbs, and there are south suburbs, and they're quite different. So let me talk a little bit about what's going on, and hopefully I can answer some questions, and please respond to what we're talking about because you may be interested in a suburb that I normally don't talk about, like let's say Naperville or Burr Oak or so Calumet City. There's so many suburbs. Keep in mind there's 10 million people that live in Metro Chicago. So that takes in the city and the suburbs. So if you're debating between the city of Chicago and the suburbs, this is your 2025 reality check. I've sold homes across Chicagoland for 25 years with a special focus on the North Shore. We'll cover lifestyle, housing, schools, commuting, cost of living, weather, safety, and community, and I'll finish with rapid-fire tips on choosing the right suburb for your budget and lifestyle. When locals say the suburbs, they usually mean a mix of Cook County, Lake County, DuPage County, Kane County, and Will County towns. Think North Shore, think Evanston, Wilmette, Winnetka, Glenview, Northbrook, and many, many more. Northwest, Arlington Heights, Palatine. In the west, Elmhurst, Hinsdale, Wheaton, Naperville. And in the southwest, Orland Park, Tinley Park, and far north like Lake Forest and Libertyville. Each pocket has its own vibe and price point. Compared to most city neighborhoods, you'll typically get more square footage, a yard, a driveway, and often an attached garage. If you want a dog, a grill, and a swing set, suburbs do deliver. Many suburban districts are nationally recognized. North Shore high schools like New Trier, Stevenson, and neighboring districts consistently rank highly. If K-12 quality is a priority, the suburbs give you depth of options. Suburban park districts are phenomenal. There's pools and ice rinks and fitness centers, leagues and camps. And on the North Shore, you've got sandy beaches, sailing, and trails right on Lake Michigan. Now, Metro trains connect many suburbs to downtown Chicago. On the UP North Line, from towns like Wilmette or Winnetka, typical rides are roughly 30 minutes into Ogilvie, give or take the train. Block parties, farmers markets, Friday night football, 4th of July parades, suburbs do community really well. We'll feel it pretty quickly once you move in. From historic bungalows and mid-century ranches to new construction, low-maintenance townhomes, or condos, you can usually find a fit at different price points, especially if you're flexible on location and updates. Illinois property taxes are among the highest in the country, and they vary by community and school district. Taxes can be a major line item, so always factor them into your monthly payment and long-term budget. Snow, ice, and cold snaps. Plan on shoveling, salting, and higher heating bills. The payoff is gorgeous summers and fall, but winter is part of the deal. But I will say this about that. Since global warming has been so major, I know for me, I haven't used my snowblower in 3.5 years. That means the weather isn't as cold, we don't get as much snow. So I see a huge change here. Now, I'm not saying it's Florida, but Chicago, most of the time, the weather can be pretty good, and especially summer, spring, fall. It's a fantastic time. Even with Metro, you're trading spontaneity for a schedule. Factor in ticket or pass costs, parking, and the last mile once you're downtown. Drive-only commutes, mean tolls, and traffic. Even with Metro, you're trading spontaneity for a schedule. and I've mentioned that, and it's extremely important to know that. Now, charming older housing stock can mean clay sewer lines, aging roofs, or knob and tube wiring. Inspections matter. Budget for ongoing updates, even in move-in ready homes. Now, today everybody does an inspection. Everybody hires a professional. The professional, everyone fills out disclosures. With that being said, not everybody is honest. And even if they are, you have to do your due diligence. You and I will help you get the best people possible. Inspectors today have the latest and greatest ways of inspecting houses. They've got laser guns that can tell you if you have an issue with lead-based paint, or they're aware of mold. And if it's a problem, you get a mold specialist. So there's a lot of things that they do. Radon is a huge issue in Chicago, which is the second leading cause of lung cancer.
Thinking about relocating to Chicago, Illinois, and neighboring suburbs? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. And I've linked it down below, from top employees, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part of this guide, it's 100% free. That's right, you heard it right from me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment, and I hope that helps. In fact, I know it will help.
A lot of times, sellers in their disclosure have never truly had a radon test. I, who built my house in 2000, at that time, I did not do a radon inspection. And 7 years later, after I had been a real estate broker for 7 years, I realized that I probably should be testing for radon. It's too big a deal, it's too important, and it's really all over the suburbs in Chicago. So I had it tested, cost me $250. It's not expensive to get it tested, and I had a very high level of radon, which again is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Now, with that being said, I hired a radon mitigation company who goes in. Now, keep in mind, radon is from uranium. So they go into the ground and they mitigate. So when it's over and done with, your radon should be at zero. And the way the systems are built today, they are good for a minimum of 7 years. With that, one of the additions they've added to the piping of the radon mitigation is a fan. So the fan is always running, and it's sucking up the air that's underground your property, or the property you're considering buying, and it releases it at the highest level of your home. And once the radon hits the air, it just breaks up into millions of particles, and it's not dangerous. But it's extremely, extremely important to do these tests on any house you're going to buy. And it doesn't matter if it's new construction or 50 years old or 100 years old. You have to do your due diligence, and that's what I'm here for, is to help, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an inspector, whether it's a stager, whether it's a contractor. I'm here to help you, and that's what I've done for the last 25 years. Now, plenty of great restaurants and some downtowns are very walkable. Evanston, Naperville, Elmhurst. But most suburbs quiet down earlier than the city. So if you're a late night energy is your thing, plan on trips into Chicago. Across Chicago Metro in 2025, prices have been holding or inching up in many suburbs, while inventory has improved a touch versus last year. It's still competitive for well-located, updated homes, especially close to train lines and top schools. So here's how I help clients narrow it down. It could be train first commuters for the Northshore, Wilmette, Winnetka, Glenview, Evanston, and plenty more. The Northwest, which would be like Park Ridge and Arlington Heights, the West, Elmhurst, LaGrange, and so many others. There's top-rated schools like in the North Shore, New Trier, Stevenson. In DuPage, there's plenty of great options. Naperville has great schools. Hinsdale is a fantastic town. And there's walkable downtowns like Evanston, Oak Park, Elmhurst, LaGrange, Arlington Heights, Naperville, Libertyville, and so many more. Now, there is newer construction, like in Naperville, Plainfield, Aurora, Vernon Hills, and Hawthorne Woods. And lakefront vibe like Evanston, Wilmette, Kenilworth, Winnetka, Glencoe, and Lake Forest, you're right on Lake Michigan, which is pretty great. So set realistic monthly numbers for property taxes, homeowners insurance, utilities, potential HOA, commuter costs, snow removal, and an annual maintenance reserve. These are the line items that separate a comfortable payment from a stressful one. Safety varies by municipalities and neighborhoods. I always recommend you tour day and tour. Check local police blotters or stats. Talk to neighbors and walk the route to the train or schools you actually use. Now, I've been in real estate for over 25 years. With deep Northshore experience, my process is simple. We define your must-haves, your budget, and the commute. We verify financing up front, and then I tailor a suburb shortlist and private tours for sellers. I'll make sure your home is safe, ready before we list. Small tweaks often make big difference. Now, get pre-approved before you shop. Try a weekend test commute by train or car. Verify school boundaries by address, not just the town name. Read the last 12 months of local sales to understand pricing. Now, I will do a CMA for you based on the last 6 months, because in real estate, the market is considered to change every 6 months. Now, it may not, but typically that's what we're bound to do. Budget 1 to 2% of the home's value per year for maintenance.
Hey guys, it's Barry Newman. As much as I love making these videos, there is one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the United States make the move here to Chicago. I've helped countless families make the move. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here and linked in the description in case you miss the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Chicago.
So if you have questions, call me, text me, email me. If you're moving to Chicago suburbs in 2025, I'd love to help. Grab my free suburb comparison checklist and a custom suburb shortlist. Links in the description. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and like. I publish new North Shore and Chicago area videos every single week. And it's really important that the people I work with are well informed and educated, because buying a house or buying a property may be the biggest expense of your life, and you want to do the right thing. Now, sometimes there's nothing you can do about like global warming, but if you know about it and how it affects each and every place you may consider moving to. So for instance, Florida, they have a lot of hurricanes. Insurance companies don't want to insure people. That's something to really consider before you consider moving to Florida, even if you really want to live there. The Atlantic Ocean, the water off Florida is 100 degrees. I mean, that's really scary and unhealthy. So there's a lot of things to know about real estate and purchasing or selling your property, and I'm the guy that can help you. So please contact me, and I look forward to responding as quickly as I can and giving you the best possible help that anyone can possibly give to anyone moving to Chicago or Chicago suburbs. Have a great day.